You might think it's just cute, just a random gesture. But when your dog places their paw on you, something deeper is happening. Every quirky move your dog makes, whether it's yawning when you yawn, tilting their head when you speak, or licking something unexpected, carries a message. For those of us who live alone or rely on our dogs for comfort, understanding those signs isn't just sweet, it's essential. In this video, we're diving into 10 dog behaviors that might seem odd at first, but each one tells a powerful story. From sneezes to paw taps, from head tilts to destruction when you're gone, these actions reveal what your dog is really saying. Some will make you smile, some might break your heart. So let's begin not with what you see, but what your dog is trying to say. 1. When your dog puts their paw on you. You're watching TV doing nothing in particular, when suddenly, there it is. A gentle paw on your leg. Soft. Intentional. Not demanding, but definitely not random. For many dog owners over 60, especially those who've been through health scares or spend a lot of time alone, this tiny gesture hits differently. Dogs use their paws, like we use our hands to connect. It's their way of saying, "I'm here." Sometimes it's a call for affection. Other times, it's their subtle way of checking in on you. In some cases, it's their emotional barometer, a small nudge when they sense something's off with your mood or health. Some dogs trained as diabetic alert dogs, for example, use paw taps to signal dropping blood sugar. Others simply learn that when their human is quiet too long, it's time to check in. Behaviorists also consider this a calming signal like yawning or lip-licking used to de-escalate or bond. And for those with rescue dogs, it can mean even more, a bridge rebuilt after trauma. Next time your dog places their paw on, you don't brush it off. Offer a smile, a soft word, maybe even a touch back. In that moment, you're not just coexisting, you're communicating. And speaking of communication, have you ever noticed your dog letting out a big sneeze just as they start to play? 2. Why dogs sneeze. During play. It's easy to assume your dog is sneezing because of dust or pollen. But during playtime, that sudden sneeze isn't about allergies, it's about excitement. It's your dog saying, "This is fun." According to canine behaviorists, dogs often sneeze as a way to signal that their play is friendly. It's part of what's known as calming signals, subtle cues dogs use to keep the mood light and prevent things from escalating. So, when two dogs are wrestling and one sneezes, they're not sick. They're saying, "I'm just playing." This also happens when dogs play with their humans. That loud sneeze, mid-chase, or just before a tug-of-war round, it's a joy sneeze. While there's limited formal research specifically on sneezing during play, experts like Turid Rugas include it in the suite of nonverbal cues dogs rely on. Sneezing releases tension and acts almost like a reset, keeping things in the fun zone. So the next time your dog sneezes right before they pounce on their favorite toy, smile. It means they're in the moment, and they want you in it too. Now, let's talk about another gesture that melts hearts, but might be doing more than you think, the head tilt. 3. That adorable head tilt. You say, "Want to go for a walk?" And suddenly there it is. That perfectly timed, slightly exaggerated tilt of the head. It's cute, yes, but it's also cognitive. A study published in 2021 observed that dogs known to understand specific object names tilted their heads more when trying to locate or identify those items. That tilt may help them process sound, focus on your voice, and even see better around their own snout, especially in dogs with longer muzzles. In other words, the head tilt is your dog's way of adjusting their sensory input, optimizing their ability to decode what you're saying. For owners with rescue dogs or senior pups who rely more on vocal cues, this gesture shows your dog is trying to connect with you. It's also believed to be linked with emotional intelligence. Dogs who are more socially attuned seem to tilt their heads more often, especially when hearing familiar phrases. So when your dog tilts their head after you say, "treat" or "let's go," they might be piecing together sound memory and intention. So don't just say, "Oh, that's cute." Next time you see the tilt, try tilting your head back. You're in sync, and your dog knows it. And while we're talking about mirroring behavior, what about when your dog yawns? Right after you do. 4. Yawning, not just sleepy signals. To us, yawning means we're tired or bored. But to your dog, it can mean many things, some of them deeply emotional. In a study from Kyoto University, dogs were more likely to yawn when their owners yawned compared to strangers. This wasn't about stress, it was about empathy. It showed that dogs, especially bonded ones, may actually catch our yawns as a way of mirroring emotional states. Other studies from the University of Pisa link yawning in dogs to stress. A yawn before a vet visit or after a loud noise, that's not tiredness. It's nervous energy, a way to self-soothe. And there's one more reason: transition. Dogs often yawn when shifting gears from rest to activity, or from calm to alert, like a stretch before moving on. So the next time you yawn and your dog follows, don't laugh it off. It might mean they're feeling what you feel, or trying to calm themselves down. But some dogs do more than yawn when something's off. Some reach for you. 5. The paw as a health alert. There are stories, hundreds of them, where dogs save lives by sensing a change in their human's body. Low blood sugar, elevated heart rate, even impending seizures. And often, it starts with a paw. Diabetic alert dogs are trained to detect chemical changes in breath and sweat. But some dogs, without any formal training, develop the same behavior. They nudge, they paw, they stare. It's their instinct to act when something feels off. A 2018 study published in Learning and Behavior showed that dogs were significantly more likely to approach and try to help their humans when they appeared distressed, even opening doors to reach them. This shows empathy, yes, but also a desire to do something. For people living with PTSD, anxiety, or chronic illness, these small actions, pawing, resting their head on your chest, or refusing to leave your side, aren't just comfort. They're vital signals. So if your dog puts a paw on you and won't stop, don't ignore it, especially if you're feeling off. Of course not. Every paw is peaceful. Sometimes when you're gone, that same dog turns your couch into confetti. 6. Destruction. When you're not home, you walk in and your favorite pillow's exploded. Or worse, your door frame's been chewed. It feels personal. But it's not about revenge. It's about stress. Dogs are creatures of connection. When left alone too long, especially those with separation anxiety or rescue backgrounds, they panic. Their world suddenly lacks its center you. So they chew, scratch, destroy, not to punish you, but to cope. Imagine being terrified and locked inside a house with no way to say, "I need help." That's how it feels for them. Destruction is expression. To ease this, experts recommend structured routines, enrichment toys, and gradually increasing solo time. Some dogs benefit from crates, others from calming pheromone diffusers, but more than anything, they need consistency and reassurance. So next time your home looks like a tornado, hit it, take a breath. Your dog's not angry. They're anxious. And sometimes, when they're feeling that anxiety, even when you're still home, they'll shake. 70. 7. Why dogs shake when they're not wet. Shaking off water makes sense. But shaking when dry, that's emotional. Dogs shake for many reasons beyond getting dry. It can mean excitement, like a little body reset. It can mean stress, especially after a tense moment. Or it can simply be how they transition between rest and activity. Behaviorists call it an emotional reset button. You'll often see it after a vet visit, a loud noise, or even after intense play. It's their way of recalibrating. A dry shake can also be about cleanliness after grooming, after rolling in the grass, or after being handled too much. The key is context. If your dog shakes after something emotional, it's their version of a deep breath. And speaking of weird but meaningful behavior, have you ever seen your dog licking another dog's pee? 8. Licking other dog's pee. Gross? To us, yes. To dogs, it's investigative journalism. When dogs lick urine, they're activating a special organ called Jacobson's organ, or the vomeronasal organ. It decodes pheromones, giving dogs rich information about another dog's gender, health, mood, and even reproductive status. This is part of their natural communication toolkit. Think of it like checking a social media profile with your tongue. So while it may look odd and icky, it's completely normal. It's not a hygiene issue. It's a biological instinct. Just don't interrupt them too quickly, they're gathering data. And if you're wondering how they use that info, it helps them decide how to interact next. Friend, foe, female in heat. Senior male, all that in one sniff. From sniffing to head tilting, your dog is always decoding the world. But when night falls, their instincts turn inward and protective. 9. Waking you up at night. If your dog wakes you up by pawing your chest or standing over you, it's not just about wanting to go outside. Sometimes it's about you. Dogs have been known to detect health shifts in humans, changes in breath, blood sugar, heart rate. Especially at night, when things are quiet, they notice what's different. One man shared how his dog woke him seconds before a heart episode. Another described his diabetic alert dog standing on his chest when sugar dropped. These stories aren't rare. Dogs listen, they feel, and they act. So the next time you're stirred awake by a paw or a stare, pause. Check in with yourself and thank your dog. When they sleep beside you, they're not just getting cozy. They're guarding the one they love. 10. Sleeping close. Trust and protection. Dogs don't just plop down anywhere. Where they sleep says everything about how they feel. If your dog curls up beside you, lays at your feet, or sleeps with their back against you, it means one powerful thing. Trust. In the wild, sleeping close meant safety. Being near the pack leader offered warmth, protection, and peace. At home, it means you're their pack, their person. For seniors, or anyone living alone, that warm body next to you at night isn't just comfort, it's communication. Your dog is saying, "You're safe, I'm here." So let them stay close. Let them feel you breathe. That bond, silent and strong, might just be the most honest love you've ever known. Now you know. Those little gestures, paw taps, yawns, sneezes, even a shake aren't meaningless. They're messages from your dog's heart to yours. For those of us over 60, or anyone who's ever leaned on a dog in tough times, these moments mean the world. They remind us that love doesn't always need words. So the next time your dog does something strange, pause. Pay attention. Listen with your heart. And if this video helped you understand your pup better, leave a comment below. Tell us your favorite moment of connection. Because every dog is telling a story. And the more we listen, the deeper the bond becomes. Hit that subscribe button for more insights like these. Your best friend deserves it.